Hey, welcome to IMO, In My Opinion, with J&M. Jonathan.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
I just lost my voice there.
Did you?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Sure?
Just had a little convo with my wife. Did your mom ever make fried eggs with cornflakes?
That's odd.
No, right?
No.
She said that's a Puerto Rican thing. I said, no, that was a poor thing. I mean, it's weird, right?
Yeah, that's odd.
I grew up eating that.
Cornflakes and eggs?
Fried eggs.
No.
It's actually not that bad.
I mean, I know like eggs and rice was a thing for Hispanics.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
eggs
some ketchup.
And
you know?
Yep.
Eggs and ketchup?
No, rice and ketchup.
Rice and ketchup?
Yeah.
I used to do that a lot too.
Oof.
Yeah.
But we have guests today, as we do every week. We have two special guests. They're both actors. I will let them introduce themselves. Ladies first.
Hey,
I'll give you a little more. Hold on. You're muted. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize so bad. Oh, my God.
I'm offended.
I'm leaving now.
No, I'm Josefina Estrada. I'm an actress here in Chicago. I've been acting since like I was 9 years old, but like off and on throughout my whole life. And then, yeah.
Cool. Sir?
What's going on? My name is Justin Mobley. I am a actor, producer, director, writer, storyteller. And I have been acting professionally now for 3 years.
3 years?
It's 3
That's
years.
it?
That's it?
It's 3 years. Yeah.
And the reason I say that, because
hold
on. Me and John went to go to a showcase where you had it was the Devil's
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Yep.
Where you were the lead man.
Yeah.
And we saw you do your thing.
Yeah.
And I do not believe that it's only been 3 years.
Only 3 years.
Good
yeah.
man. Oh, man.
A lot more
Round of applause
season
for
than
that.
that.
Hold on. Round of applause for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, man.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, real quick.
Okay.
Or should we do ladies first? What do you think?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Did just say ladies first.
So,
Yeah, I don't want to have to follow him, so let's do it.
You said 9 years old.
Yeah, I was in a play when I was 9. I think it was like third grade. We wrote the play because we were super creative back then. I don't think I could do that again now, but and I've always been smaller, so I played a 5-year-old, and I had to wear like Barbie pajamas and clutch a teddy bear and be scared the whole time. And I thought I'd be super embarrassed, and I loved it. And then I just like did little things throughout elementary school, and I've quit acting like 5 different times. And you just can't, there's a point where you just kind of, you know that
That's
like,
fair.
there's a reason you can't get away from it.
Man, 9 years old. I'm like, I can't even think of myself. 9 years old. You know what I was doing at 9 years old?
Never ends well. Child acting. I mean,
no. Yes, it can.
Maybe it's a good thing you stopped for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the problem with children actors is like they never. Okay, so like let's use Macaulay Culkin for example, right? Everybody knows Home Alone, right? Home Alone guy.
Lord.
Or if you want to use the Austin Twins too, whatever. I feel like the problem with them is like they're cute and adorable when they're babies and they're kids, right? But then they grow into adults. And a lot of kids don't, like, I've always felt like you have transitions, right? You're either an ugly kid and good looking as an adult, or vice versa. Like I had the vice versa. I was an ugly ass kid. I'm not saying I'm good looking, but I grew into myself because I was one ugly ass kid. You know what I'm saying? You agree, John?
I know what you're saying.
You were an ugly kid too. No, you weren't. I just saw a baby picture of you not too long ago. You got about the same build though.
Yeah.
You're a chubby kid.
Thanks for that. Thanks a lot.
Right there. That's Diesel.
Man, that's why do you think I make fun of him?
I know.
I'm jealous of both of you guys. There's too much
testosterone.
there's too much muscle going on over there on that side of the table.
Yeah.
9 years old though, huh?
Yeah.
Did you take any classes or anything like that? Any education behind it, or just all natural talent?
No, well, now I've trained and realized that I had no idea before, like all of the things that I've learned maybe in like the past 2-3 years. I started actually professionally pursuing it over the last, probably since college, 4 years, 5 years, but off and on again. And I didn't do any training throughout my childhood, but I begged my parents all the time, and they were like, no, school. I'm like from an immigrant family, so it's very like, you got to go to school, you got to go to college, you got to do those, like get into a serious career. I was supposed to be a doctor and stuff. So
I mean, you ever look at the prices of acting classes? If I was a parent, I'd say no too.
they didn't even try to look.
It's expensive.
Any type of class.
Expensive. And you, sir?
Yeah.
Where are your beginnings from?
Actually, some of my beginnings came from music.
Music.
Yeah, I started doing music in high school, singing, producing. Learned how to play the piano a little bit. I played by ear, but from an entertainment standpoint, I started off writing songs for Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. I got like some freelance songwriting experience with Disney, and yep, that was really cool.
That's
I worked
awesome.
on.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah. I worked on "Shake It Up" when Zendaya and Bella Thorne were like little kids. That was really cool. One of my songs, actually, they danced to. So it's kind of funny. If I ever get a chance to meet Zendaya, I'm like, we've worked together, just not directly.
Just don't know it.
Yeah, you just don't know it. Yeah,
we were there.
I was singing and she was like dancing to the song and everything.
That's cool.
But yeah. So I started off that, and then took some time off from songwriting and working with Disney. Really not what I wanted to do, but they kind of forced our hand into doing so. And then I got into personal training and doing Pilates and became an instructor with that. And then
Jonathan, do you do Pilates?
I don't even know what that is. Enlighten me.
He was like, "Pow, okay."
I've heard
I have
of
to
it,
stretch.
obviously.
What?
Yeah, a little stretching, you know.
This body doesn't stretch.
That's okay.
At all.
And mine's didn't for the longest, and it still struggles. So I get it. But yeah, so I did that, and then I got introduced to, well, not really introduced. My acting has been in my family for a long time. My sister, who lives in LA, she managed my nephew at a very, very young age, and then basically kind of like brought him up through the ranks. And I mean, as a family, you know, we watched them. I watched him go through commercials and being on music videos with Janet Jackson and stuff like that. And so it's always been in our family. But 3 years ago, in 2019, roughly around like May, I started seeing my niece get into it. And I was like, okay, this is cool. She's like taking classes. And, you know, I was like, man, I need to do something creative. I need to get back into that creative space and have that creative energy. So I saw her and I was like, you know what? Something to this. I'm going to go and get some headshots. And then from there, I'm going to take some acting classes. And I did some acting classes in Oak Park. And from there, I ended up going to Acting Studio Chicago and been taking classes there. And I've been taking classes at Acting Studio Chicago. I actually did that the whole time of COVID. So I know about the expense. Yeah, I know about that. I took about 9 classes.
You want to know which one was what's interesting to me about classes? Like, you would think again, like the school that I liked the most, right? Like the green room.
Yeah.
They went over Zoom, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you call it, online.
Yeah.
And it got more expensive. And I'm like, shouldn't it be the opposite? You're not, I mean, if you're doing it from your house, you're not renting the studio anymore or whatever. You would think. I mean, they're worth their weight in gold, but like, I'm like, man, shouldn't it be cheaper?
He said, fuck it. No, we're saving you gas money.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what's a project you were in recently?
So I mostly do commercials nowadays, which is fun. It's
good money.
Yeah, it pays the bills for sure. But my last I did a co-star on Chicago Med that aired last December, and that was my first co-star, which was a lot of fun. I loved that set. Thank you. It was, everyone's so nice, so supportive.
Isn't it different from when you're a stand-in or an extra?
Oh
Everybody's done extra on this table, right?
Yes.
Except John.
Yes.
John's not an actor.
He's
not an actor.
No, God no.
Isn't it night and day?
It is.
Like how they treat you?
So different.
It's kind of it's cool to see that side of it though, because it makes you humbled, I guess, to a certain, because you're just like, you're no longer an extra holding. Right. I have a trailer. You know, it's like, wow. I actually have a trailer. Yeah.
They're catering you.
Right.
Do you need anything?
Right.
Like, get away from me, UPA. Like, leave me alone. I'm not used to this. Get away from me.
Right.
Can I help you? Can I get you anything? Do you need? No, I'm fine. I'm good. You get
on the
water
extra side, they're like, here's your chips. Oh my God, you need to be over here. You should be, why are you? And they're just stressing and yelling at you as an extra.
You know what I did once, just because she was the PA that was in charge of me and I guess the other person, like she kept asking, which is great. That's what they do, right? That's what they get paid to do. I literally asked her, like, can I get you something? Because I'm like, you're just all like so intense and taking care of your job. I'm like, can I get you something? Has anybody gotten you something?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I understand what you said about being humble. Like, I was an extra. I know how they get treated. And I'm not saying they get treated bad, but like, it's not the same.
It's different. Like,
you have no freedom. You can't, they tell you, don't talk to the actors, blah, 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 all of this jazz. I'm like, I know what it's like. So like, I remember I was on set one day and like the extras were like around. They're like, they want to ask you something, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to me. It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. No one's gonna yell at you. You'll be all right. Yeah. You know? But that's such a interesting feeling.
It is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So your experience on Med, right? You said?
Yeah, it was wonderful. But yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I think it was a really long day. I think we ended up doing like, I want to say like 12, 13 hours that day. And I mentioned just not to anyone. I just kind of had a headache coming on, and I had like 3 people like, do you need something? Do you need some Tylenol? Do you need some? I was totally fine. I was probably just caffeine withdrawals because I have a problem, but it was everyone. Yep. Everyone was so kind. I mean, the whole cast was really nice. It was definitely a like perfect first experience.
And, cool. And yourself, you've been on the Chicago shows? You've been on Chicago shows?
Yeah, I did. I did Chicago Med back in February
of this last season.
No, of season. I don't know how many seasons they have. It was the last season with April, where she was Yaya.
You know, that's the only Chicago show I really don't watch.
Interesting.
The other ones I kind of watch. Med is the only one in the. The bad part, you know how now we can't be on the show for like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah,
but Med is the excluded one because it's not necessarily the same company. I'm like, damn, that's the only chance I got now. So now I got to really watch Med.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was all of them.
So
together.
Med is one of those weird ones. So Med is in, I know it's a Dick Wolf production, but it's not the same. It's not like, who does their casting?
Cargie and Ross.
That's who does Med.
Yeah.
But the other ones are
Claire Simon.
So that's why they're a little separate. So like technically you can, depending on how long you've been on screen on the other one.
Interesting.
So technically I guess you can.
Okay.
But my agent told me like, don't hold your breath.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same thing I heard.
Don't hold your breath.
Same here. Yeah. So I did that one, and just recently I booked Justified and Power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was cool. And it was funny you say, because when we were talking about like the extras and like how they treat you as like a co-star, just a star in general. And I was on Justified, and one of the scenes required like the extras to kind of like be involved with us when we were our scene. And it was funny because one of the ladies who was standing in front of me, we're just, shooting the shit, just chit-chatting. And the Vivian Oliphant, who was, playing Willa in the show, she's one of the series regulars. And we're all just chit-chatting. And so, like, the lady who was just standing there, she was like, yeah, who is the main actress? Who are we? And I was like, she was standing right there. And she was like, oh my God.
No.
And she was like, oh my God. She was like, am I going to get in trouble? I said, why? Yeah. She was like, I'm not supposed to be talking to. And I was like, they still do that? I was like,
I find that to be, don't get me wrong. I understand why they do that. You
can't have everybody going up and talking to these actors.
I get it. I get that part. True. But at the same time, if you lay down the rule, right? Because again, were there random people that do not stand-in, but like extra, do random people that are not actors do it? Yeah, I know a few people that do it as their daily job because they just need a second job, whatever the hell. But like for the most part, I assume most people that do extra work is because they want to try to tap into that world.
Yeah.
So what comes, you have to behave a certain way. You can't go up to freaking Patrick or Jesse or all these people from Chicago PD and like be like, hey, can I have your autograph? Blah, blah, blah. Like you should know this. There's etiquette. Now I'm not saying should you not be allowed to talk to them? That's a bit much.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trying to learn something, who are you going to learn them from? They're the professionals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to have conversations with them.
Or go to a class.
That too, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, John.
I get it, but like I said,
it's like you training for a sport. If you train for a sport, you can train all your life, but there's a difference between training and actually playing. You can practice basketball, you can practice dribble moves left and right around cones all you want, but it's different when there's an actual person in front of you who's reacting differently every time. The cone's gonna do the same shit every time. Yeah. The person's gonna be different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But any funny stories on set with you guys? Come on, there's gotta be something. Nothing? I got one.
Somebody farted. Something.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I can't
Power was cool because Chris, like everybody, like Chris Lofton was on set. He was cracking jokes. A lot of the series regulars were on set, and all they did was just like shoot the shit, crack jokes. Chris was,
Do you guys ever feel a sense of what's the word? I don't want to say like nervousness around bigger stars when you guys were on set?
When I was
like intimidation, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe the word I'm looking for?
When I was an extra on PD like years ago, I've always been obsessed with Sophia Bush, and it just happened to be one of those days that she was on set. So definitely around that time, I'm like, I can't. No, she didn't. She didn't.
Here's the funny. My sister's a huge Chicago PD fan, right? So on occasion, whenever they're like, her and her friends will find out that they're shooting somewhere, sometimes they'll go. So they went one time and they're watching them film or whatever, and like everybody came to say hi and whatever, and like my sister took pictures with a few of them. The only one, Sophia Bush. She didn't even turn. Like they're yelling at her, like yelling to get her attention. She don't even turn.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, that's kind of lame, man. Like, come on. I know you get it every day, but like, at least you could acknowledge the fans.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what they say though. Sometimes they'll say like, oh, you ever heard a fan ever say, well, we made you, so you owe us that. I'm like, that's not fair either.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like literally that happens a lot. And I'm like, my sister even said, I'm like, but that's not fair because they have a talent that, like any other talent. Like if you're going to hire LeBron James, for example, you got to hire LeBron James. LeBron James not going to go play for free.
Right.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because he has a talent that's, on its own.
I did have one actually.
Go ahead.
My first time being an extra, I was on the TV show Utopia.
Okay.
And it was my very, very first time. I was playing a fireman, and I had the whole suit on. And let me tell you, that damn suit. Mad respect to
Fireman.
My
like
God,
pounds with all that.
Yeah.
Shit.
God, that stuff was heavy. And we were doing a scene where we were trying to get everybody out of this building. It was about to explode, and Rainn Wilson was on set. And and it was hilarious because first time ever being in any production like of this size, and they put me kind of like right in the middle, and they were like, we're gonna have you right here, you're gonna be directing people, you're gonna be bringing your guys in, telling them to go inside the building, and they gotta get people out, we gotta get these people out. And I said, okay, but it's all pantomiming, so you can't speak, the only person who's talking really is Rainn, and that's it. And so they put me in this path basically of where the camera went, and they were yelling at us like, do not get in the way of the camera, the man is moving, he's on his thing. I'm just like, cool, I ain't getting in the way. I'm paying attention to the camera guy because that was the main thing. He was like, be aware of where the damn camera is, do not. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm telling my guy to come in. We're like, action. They have us do our thing. I'm like, let's go. And I'm pointing, trying to tell him where exactly the fire is or where he needs to go.
Right.
I didn't time it and or realize how close Rainn Wilson was. And I almost poked him in the eye. I saw him and I turned around and my reflexes are pretty quick, with boxing and stuff like that. So I was like, "Ooh!" And it didn't come out like that, but I was like, and he went right. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get blackballed from my first
shot they went."
That would be equivalent with the shot they went with.
Thank God they didn't. I was just like, I'm gonna get yelled at as soon as they say cut.
That's awesome. That's awesome, though. That's a
and
moment.
he walked past, and I tried not to look at him, and he just kind of looked at me and was just like, and I said, Jesus. I was like, okay.
So he wasn't even like, oh, my bad, nothing after that?
Well, you know what? And to Rainn's credit, after it was all said and done and everything, he did come down to extras holding where we were being held, and he was like, I just want to say thank you to everybody who worked today. He was like, you guys made my job so much easier. I appreciate every single one. And we all took pictures with him, and he was a really cool sport.
Cool.
So.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
You know who that is, right?
No, I don't.
The guy from The Office, glasses. Never mind.
I'm sorry, man.
Never mind.
I feel like I have to say this every time.
What he was saying when he goes like this, so I could just picture his face.
It was just like,
laughing.
I like looked up, I glanced at him like quickly, and he was just like, as he was walking past, and I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, and he's tall. Yeah, like he's a big guy, you know, and I was like, and I remember him from The Office. You know, he was, you know, slimmer, and in this role, he like gained some weight. So I was like, this dude is gonna power slam. Like, he is about to whoop my ass.
He doesn't look like the type, but
yeah. And again, he came down, and he was just the sweetest guy, real cool. But that was probably the wildest thing that ever happened to me. After that, I was like, I'm not even getting in the way. I'm not pointing. I was just like, it's over there, y'all. Yeah. It's over there.
So when you guys got your first talking roles on these shows, what was your preparation? Like, well, how nervous were you? Were you celebrating like when you got it the whole night? Cause I was screaming really loud when I got mine, but whatever. We'll talk about that. Go ahead.
Mine was, I was out of town.
Ooh, please tell me you flew in the next day.
No, we drove. We went on a road trip. I went on a road trip to the East Coast, and we were in New York City when I found out I got it. And the dates that they had checked for were not for a while, maybe like for a week or something. So I thought I had some time there. Sure. And then they came back and they're like, we need you to be at like COVID testing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Jeez. And I was like, okay. So we left, I think it was at like 1 a.m. We had to leave, drive back to Chicago, make it in time. So, and then my preparation that weekend was, I had, it was a co-star with like 3 different scenes. So there was a progression throughout, and it was really emotional. So that was fun and a challenge for like your very first one too, and under all that pressure. But yeah, I just took the weekend for it. I think we shot on that next Tuesday. I came back on Friday for COVID testing, and then we shot that on Tuesday. So it wasn't much time at all, but awesome. Yeah.
What do you struggle with in acting? Like, what do you think is the one thing that like always is like a roadblock or something that you have to struggle to get over?
Get out of that actor's brain.
Oh, ooh, God. Yeah.
Actor's brain. Constantly sitting there and being like, how do I look on camera? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should make this choice. And you're just like, and then you're just like thinking about it, you're like, oh, that sucked. This is gonna look horrible, and they're probably gonna put me on the cutting room floor, and you're just like, oh.
Isn't that the fear? I had that fear. Like any show that I've been on, I'm like, I'm gonna watch the episode. I kind of don't want to watch it because what if they cut my scene? I'm gonna be pissed. I mean, I still got paid, but I mean, I'm gonna be pissed. If
and then you ask yourself, because it's like, I don't want to like promote it too hard on social media and be like, yeah, I'm on this, and then people look at it and they're like, I didn't see you, and I'm like, me neither.
I was there.
That's okay.
I didn't see me either. Yeah.
Big on that, this guy.
No.
Yeah, you kind of are. Yeah, you kind of are.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Post on Facebook.
I don't. I posted one time for both shows that I was on. That's it. One time. And maybe on the year anniversary, I'll post again.
That's so hard about being an actor, is like having to promote yourself. I find that to be really difficult.
Especially
like,
when you're
put that out there.
I don't post much. I don't know why he's just making shit out of his ass. I don't really post. The only thing I post on my Facebook is like whenever I put up a podcast or something about the short film that I'm doing or whatever. I don't really post too much. But I agree with you. I mean, you have to kind of do that.
It's part of the job. Yeah.
Did you say what
no,
you struggle with?
I find myself, I'm like over analytical. Like that's just how I am. So there's always a point where I'm like, it could have been better. There's something that was missing. So I think picking it apart after the fact is like something I struggle with. But I find myself towing that line where sometimes I feel like I'm reading lines as opposed to like being a human being and just like talking to the other person. And that's like something in everything, and just stepping back and like talking to the person.
You know what's
like,
funny?
To them.
He helps me out on my short film, right? And like I think one of the first questions I asked him after we shoot anything, I'm like, dude, when you hear me, do I sound like I'm talking or do I sound like I'm reading a script?
Yeah.
And like my goal every time I do something is to at least not sound like I'm reading a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I see a lot of actors that do that. And again, it's just a matter of practice and whatever. But you really got to go deep into the words because you got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you struggle with that too, or no?
No, actually, I mean, I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
Pretty hardcore. I think what's really helped me a lot over the past couple of years has been the transition from auditioning live to self-taping.
Do you enjoy self-taping?
I do enjoy self-taping.
It's such a 50-50 thing.
I love it.
There's
I think
people
because
that
I'm
in love with in person.
Yeah, and again, I came into the industry at a time when in person was like on its way out, and then COVID just forced it out. So I really, I auditioned live maybe a handful of times, and I was just like, okay. But doing like online training and stuff like that, I was just so used to having that experience and creating a world on screen. And like trying to be creative, and we're trying to like do all of this stuff because we're no longer live. So, all of my acting classes were just really, they're like, be creative, pass a sheet of paper under the screen, and the other person, has,
Right.
So we were just doing all these different things. And for me, starting to transition into the directing world, when I do my self-tapes, it's like I'm creating that character. I'm giving, of course, having that instruction to, make sure that I'm staying in the character and giving them what they want, but I'm being able to be like, all right, let's try this.
Making choices.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
think I think what one thing that we look at it as in, okay, we can do it at home and we can take as long as we want, right? But I think it's a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do that, but I think them on the other end, they're expecting more because you do have time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You have to. I think at this point when you're sending in an audition, you have to bring it even more because you have that time.
Yeah,
you can do it 100 times if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like live. You're live. Okay, do it once. Maybe you get to do it again.
Yeah,
and thank you for coming.
Yeah,
so
and you get that feedback, and that's what I think a lot of the times a lot of people miss is the actual feedback, the validation of being like, oh, let's have you try it this way, and you're like,
that's my first sign that something went right.
Yeah.
When I used to do in person auditions, like if they were to say, can you change this? That means they like something. Mm-hmm. At least to me, even though I didn't get the part, but like I feel like at least they saw something that like maybe we tweak it, or whatever.
Yeah,
So what do you guys take as like victories in acting? Like for me, every time my agent, I go for an audition, they tell me, oh, your availability check.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's like literally they saw something. Yeah. What's small victories for you guys when you guys are acting?
I think just getting the audition.
That's what I was going to say.
Just being requested.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal to begin with. I did an internship at a casting agency last year, and like you just kind of come to learn that they bring you in for a reason. So even if you're not booking consistently, if they're calling you back in, they see something. They see something. Right. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's a great win. What do you normally go in for?
It varies. So this last year, I think I've discovered that I'm funnier than I thought. So it's been a lot more like goofy commercials and like co-stars and things like that. And I just did an audition for a Netflix film, and like it's all over the place, but it's all in the vein of kind of being goofy, which I really enjoy because I used to struggle with that so much, the just like trying to be funny or like not feeling like I was funny. And I think that that's actually probably the strength now in auditions.
I think I'm the opposite of that.
Really?
I'm terrified of like trying to...
You love that dramatic...
No, he can be goofy, he can be funny. He just doesn't want to play those roles.
Here's the fucked up part about it. Again, I think there's people that are visually funny, right? And then what's acting? Acting is visual, right? It's a visual thing. It's a
You're
visual
visually
art.
funny.
No, I'm not. I could be joke pun funny, right? Yeah. Like I'll throw a jab and it's funny or whatever, but like I'm not Jim Carrey funny.
Yeah.
Like Jim Carrey is fucking funny.
I'm not Jim Carrey.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
But there's people that are like that. Like they're just able to let go and they can express themselves like, in ways that I'm still kind of like, I'm going to hide over here,
I mean, comedy is really just tough in general because it's such a ping pong thing and you got to be like, I mean, it's like Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he's not a stand-up comedic, but his puns, the way he says certain things, and he's just so fast, and you're just like, I have nothing. I have nothing for it. But then you got like a Jim Carrey who's just animated and, all over the place, and he uses his body as comedy, and you're just like, it works, and
I feel like he has both.
He does.
He's like
Jim can do both.
Yeah.
And I think as he's gotten older, he's gotten a lot more snarky. And real snarky. Like now he's one of those, because he's not as animated, but he's quick to say something to you, and it's
who's
just
gonna be
funny.
moving around like that at 60?
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna be doing that.
Talking about some and all the other stuff that he was doing back in the day.
I think he's such an underrated actor.
Climbing out of rhinos.
I mean, as a comedian, as being funny, I think he's obviously up on there. But as an actor, pure actor, I think he's kind of underrated.
Yeah,
because he's really good.
Oh yeah,
like literally really good.
He's
The
got
only
a really
problem
nice
with him,
range.
I think his biggest problem is that he stuck to what he's known for, and whenever he deviated a little bit, it didn't necessarily work.
Yeah,
you know, like when he did what's that movie?
23.
The number
23.
When he did the number 23, I didn't think it was bad either.
Different. It was different for him.
But when you see Jim Carrey, like you don't go to watch Jim Carrey be serious. You go to he's gonna say something. Oh, this is one of those.
Like this is real dark. This man is crying. he is really crying. Well, I mean, that's like what Ryan Reynolds was saying. He did everybody knows him as the funny man, and he deviated a little bit, and I think he did a horror film, and he said he would never do another horror film.
Oh, Amityville.
Yeah. And he was just like, nope, not doing that again. And he even did the movie where he was trapped in a box for like half of the entire movie.
Oh, what was that movie? Hold on.
Trapped in a box.
Yeah.
He was buried alive.
Yeah, he was buried alive. Like the camera was like he was recording himself in like a coffin or some shit, something like that. Basically, I don't remember what it was, but I remember seeing like trailers for that movie.
Yeah, I feel like I saw the trailer, but I don't think I ever saw the
but
movie.
I mean, he deviated, and it's like. Now he kind of went back to Deadpool. Deadpool made him, a global superstar.
He don't got to work another day in his life after Deadpool.
I remember him from Three Guys, a Girl, on a pizza place.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
I do.
Nope.
That was from a long time
And he was
ago.
funny. I mean, Van Wilder, he was always known as the comedy guy.
I think actors like them, they take risks whenever they take significant roles like Deadpool. Because how do you get out of that shadow?
Yeah.
Right? Because every time you see Ryan Reynolds, you see Deadpool now.
That's it.
That's who you see.
But it's a success. So,
correct. Correct. It's like Robert Downey Jr., for example.
Gonna be...
Robert Downey Jr. is as great of an actor that he is, right? I cannot see him in anything else. It bugs me. I tried to watch Sherlock Holmes.
I loved him in Sherlock Holmes.
I just can't see him anymore. Like I see him, I'm like, every time he talked, I'm like, oh, here comes the Iron Man suit's gonna fly in and he's gonna put on his body. He's gonna start blasting everybody or whatever. That's all I see, and it's because of it's like the my concept with daytime TV, like doing sitcoms. You do a sitcom that's really popular, you might be ruining your career because your character might not ever let you go because you're that good.
That's like Carlton.
Yeah, or fucking Steve Urkel, or the guy from Saved by the Bell, the one that died not too long ago.
Dustin.
Dustin Diamonds.
Yep.
Like they're so embedded in their character, they could never move on. But a lot of sitcom characters, look at Saved by the Bell, as popular as it was. Who's the biggest name in there? Mario Lopez, and he's not even an actor anymore.
I was gonna say,
he's an extra. He's a news anchor for fucking extra.
I was gonna say Mr. Belding.
Oh God. Did you see him in the reunion? He's big. He's a big boy. He's a big boy now.
Yeah,
Mr. Bell. He's the big bopper. He's big, all right.
The big bopper.
I think the only one that really made it from a sitcom and made it really, really big was Will Smith.
Yeah, and Martin Lawrence. Well,
but he was never really huge in movies like that. He had a few good movies, but like he's more of still of a comedian than he is an actor.
Yeah.
But like Will Smith was like the only one that really comes to mind where I'm like, he was the main character. We know him as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but we're okay with turning that off and watching him play something else.
And you know what I think that was interesting about Will Smith is the fact is that he played Will.
Yeah, he played himself.
So basically, it was like there was really no transition because I mean, when we speak of Alfonso Ribeiro or I'm not sure.
I forget his name.
Everybody just calls him Carlton. Yeah. And that's what he's known as. Versus Will, you were like, oh, Will Smith. It wasn't like he was Kevin. It was like you knew him as Will, and that's who he personified just throughout the rest of his career. So it was just like, that was an easy transition.
The only other thing I know Carlton did was those State Farm commercials when he was dressing up like Chris Paul.
Oh my God,
he was like doing stupid shit.
Yeah,
that's some of his best work.
Yeah, I mean,
I loved it.
Like when he jumps out the window, I'm the new Chris Paul. But that was like, I mean, it's one of those things you got to be. I would say you got to be really careful when. Now, John will argue me and be like, "Oh, you got to take that job. That's good money."
Yeah, you got to take it.
But look at how many actors have taken jobs like that, and then where are they now?
Well, you know what? I'll be sad collecting my residuals for the rest of my life.
That's if that show kicks like that.
Yeah.
Not every show's Seinfeld, bro.
Yeah. you got Jennifer Aniston and the guys from Friends.
Well, they made it far. Or Jessica Biel from Seventh Heaven, right? She was from Seventh Heaven, right? Yeah. Jessica Biel. She's the only one that made it from there too. Yeah. Everybody else, I don't know where they are.
Well, the dad was a pedophile or something.
Was he? I didn't even know that. Yeah. Well, that's news to me. Anyways.
Something like that. Dated an underage something.
Really? Oh, wow. And he portrayed this lovable dad of...
He was a pastor, wasn't he?
Yeah, in the show, right? Yeah. In the show, yeah, it was. So this is obviously the obvious question. Who are you guys' favorite actor or actress?
I got.
Feel free to look around the room.
Please don't look around the room. And I mean, you can look this way, right that way over there. I don't know if you want to look that way.
I'd say my top 5 males would be Kickoff, Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh man, the 5th one is tough, man, because it's like Robert Downey Jr., you name it. I mean, Brad Pitt. I mean, there's so many of them that could fill in that slot. On the female side, Zendaya, definitely.
She's good.
Zendaya is the truth right now. What is her name? The girl who played in Ozark. Gardner.
Julia
Gardner. Yeah.
I was going to say Jennifer Gardner.
Yeah. I like... Jennifer. I knew it was a J. It was. Thank you. That was. Yeah, you came in the clutch. And who's the other one? Anna Taylor-Joy.
She's fantastic.
Yeah. And Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, Meryl Streep. I mean, yeah.
Madam.
Yeah, I second all of those, and I really, really like watching Tatiana Maslany, Orphan Black. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I'm not good. I'm horrible with names.
She is so talented. Yeah. And I feel like she's, I wouldn't say underrated, just not a lot of people know her. But Jessica Chastain's another one.
Oh, Jessica's good.
Yeah,
she's another one I think that's underrated, doesn't get a lot of. She's got a new movie coming out. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's kind of a true story that's based on her being a nurse, or it's something that's coming out, and it's like a horror like movie. But I wonder
what causes these people to take bad jobs sometimes, though, because like Jessica Chastain was in the last X-Men movie. She was in Dark Phoenix, right? And like I know she was probably underutilized for her talent, but I'm like, even Viola Davis, why is as talented as Viola Davis is? Why the hell is she in Suicide Squad? And I know she played the part well, and she looks like the character, right? In the comic book. Yeah. But I'm like, girl, you are
like you say,
you are Oscar winning. You are, what do they call it? You are royalty in female acting.
Yeah.
Why are you dipping yourself down to playing a Marvel character?
Hey, man.
No, man. I mean,
money.
She's special. She's unique. She's a talent that's like. That is beyond, like, I'm trying to find a male like equivalent. It's hard to even find that. She is so unique and so good at what she does that I feel like she should be just like her own division of movies just for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think stepping down the Suicide Squad, they weren't even that good of a movie.
I think it's just kind of like
that's for John Cena. Suicide Squad is perfect for John Cena.
Oh my God! And his spinoff that flopped so bad.
It was funny. He's kind of funny. That's what he's good at.
I mean, he's he's just he's a wrestler.
Funnier than Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. If you haven't noticed, we have nice artwork on the wall over
there. Yeah. But you're right. I think ultimately it's like when people take those jobs. I mean, it could be a range. It could be a range thing. Maybe they're just trying to do something a little different. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting because I always think that too when I watch some, like Jessica, for instance, that Dark Phoenix X-Men thing was like, wow, why would she drop down to that?
Wasn't she also in a movie where she was like an assassin or something like that?
Oh, the 365. She did another one that was like that too. It was
like A Woman's Name was the title. I can't remember what it is though.
Ava.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Ava. It was like, she's not that. Yeah, she couldn't move. It wasn't believable for me.
She was pretty badass.
She was badass. But then again, I was just like
it
was just like the movement part. She's not. No.
So can anybody guess who Jonathan's favorite actor is?
Schwarzenegger.
Unfortunately, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Why is that unfortunate?
Because he's horrible.
I mean,
he's horrible.
He ruled the 90s. What are you talking about?
He did, actually. I mean, Terminator 2 is always going to be
sure. I'll grant
hardcore classic.
That. I will grant that
classic.
100%. But like, it's Arnold. These are all these big guys, and I'm no offense to the guys who work out on the table here.
So it's jealousy.
Yes, jealousy. Sure.
Okay.
They all fall to me in the same category when it comes to like The Rock, John Cena, Dave Bautista, Arnold, all these guys. They play them in every freaking movie, right? The Rock plays The Rock. The only difference is he has different lines. Yeah. He sounds the same. He doesn't change anything. It's just this big guy who's funny. Yeah. John Cena's another one. John Cena's a little more loose than the rest of them, but they're just them. You know, they're there because they put asses in seats.
Yeah. No,
if they weren't as big as they are, would they still be as famous?
I mean, that's like Chris Hemsworth. You know, I think ultimately
he's got talent though.
He does. And I'm starting
he's easy
to
look
see,
at, and I don't mean that in a weird way, but he's a good looking dude. He's in shape, blah blah blah. I mean,
but even like with like the Thor. I mean, I just saw the last Thor, Love and Thunder.
I think Marvel's peaked. Anybody agree with me?
I think they are peaking.
I feel like Marvel peaked already.
And
what, Natalie Portman in there?
Yeah. And it was just too comedic for him. You know what I mean? It was like he's already a funny guy, and they just made him so Thor. You know, like it's such a night and day difference when you see him and the Russo brothers, you know, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, and then you see him in Taika Waititi, you know, and you're just like, wow. And they took it to a whole nother extreme.
See, I think they fucked up in a way, because I think what happened with Thor, so the first two movies happened, they were kind of serious, dark, nobody liked them. Yeah. They were too serious, whatever. Then Ragnarok comes out, and it was good because it was funny, it was a little different, right? But then what I read was that they turned it up to like 20 on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's too much.
It was.
So where's the seriousness about this if everything is a joke?
It was hard. And even for the sad scenes, like we were sitting there watching it, and the sad scenes weren't, you didn't really take it in.
You didn't have time to, right?
Yeah, you were just like, well, here comes a joke. You know, you're like, okay, well, that, you know, okay, well, that was, yeah. Don't want to cry anymore. I didn't want to really cry in the first place because this is just too funny. Yeah. But yeah, but it's interesting because you got guys like that, you know, when they start off like that, and it's interesting how like Hollywood kind of like changes them to kind of be these comedic, you know, not taken so serious tough guys. I mean, Vin Diesel did it. I think he played the pacifier or something like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger did it when he had to do Santa Christmas. The Christmas
all the
movie.
way.
There will be no disparaging of Mr. Schwarzenegger.
Podcast rule.
I like it. It's the one and only rule I have.
Oh, we will definitely do that on this podcast. What are you talking about? No, my gripe with him is that he always compares his favorite actor to my favorite actor, and to me, I'm like, they're not even
them at all.
They're not even in the same atmosphere.
Yeah, you're right.
God.
You are exactly right.
In the way you're not thinking, believe me. So my favorite actor is Gary Oldman. He's gonna say,
Yes.
Oh, you see the head shaking?
Yes.
Yeah. You see that? Because he's like, he says, what do you say, Gary almost or
Half the time I don't know he's in the movie till the credits come up. It's amazing.
It's amazing
I'm gonna rest my case
he's
right
left
there.
by the wayside. Yeah,
I'm gonna rest my look. That's a sign of.
I don't compare them because they're two different actors. He's an
one's
action
good.
Star.
One's really good.
Yeah,
the other one's just.
That's a tough comparison, though.
That is you can't really.
Gary Oldman. I don't even know who you would.
You have to look for one of the best character actors to get
like Michael Caine. Like
Michael Caine's good.
Yeah. Michael Caine. Gary.
I would compare Gary Oldman to like a Johnny Depp, where like you forget that it's Johnny Depp.
Like you just really transform.
Oh yeah, like and that's the crazy. And I'm not saying every actor has to do this, right? Because there's special actors out there that can do this, right? Gary's one of them. Where like in his entire career, for the most part, he's always played a villain, and he's a memorable fucking villain.
Yeah.
Like who else can you say that about? You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain villains you remember. You know, you remember the T-1000. You know, you remember the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That dinosaur was the best actor of all time. That should have won a fucking Oscar. But anyways, my point is, Gary's one of those actors. Like she just said, there's times where you won't even know that it's him.
Yeah,
that's how good he is.
That's deep. You're right.
Like, I kid you not. Like, if you think of Air Force One, which is one of my favorite movies, even though it's not that great of a movie, I didn't know it was Gary Oldman until I got older. And holy shit, that is Gary Oldman. He played the Russian guy who kidnapped the president.
You just put me onto something. That is
Gary Oldman. He plays the Russian. He plays the Russian. He's like, I don't know.
I remember Harrison Ford.
But yeah, man, he's the guy, bro, that like stands out to me.
Yeah,
he's always stand out to me. It's true.
Does he stand out though?
Hell yeah, he does.
Sounds like he doesn't.
Because you don't notice that it's. That's a good one. We'll give him one. He got one.
Give him a clap for that.
Yeah, we'll give him. There we go. That's enough of that. Who's the biggest person you guys have worked with professionally? Madam, you can go first. Like, who's the biggest actress or actor you've gone and you were like, oh look, it's this person. Like, I know this person. I watched them on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Sophia Bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is she doing now?
There's a Good Sam series. It's called Good Sam, but I haven't watched it at all.
A kid I went to grammar school with for like 7-8 years. No, I think about 6-ish years is in that show.
Oh, nice.
It's running right now?
I think so.
It's on TBS? I didn't know that. Oh, I thought, the thing is, I felt bad for her when she left. Because she left because of problems. Right? And I'm like, that's not.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, she was having problems with some of the castmates or whatever, and this and this. And you know how that goes.
You watch it?
By the way, we have his girlfriend in the background. She's fact checking us back there.
We're not talking to ghosts.
There we go. We're gonna give her a round of applause. She's there with us. Yeah, that was kind of bad. I kind of felt bad. Like, one of the guys I wanted to work with, and mind you, this was before I started acting, because I've only been acting kind of like you. Everybody remembers? You guys remember the Ninja Turtle movie, the old one?
Of course.
Okay, the guy who plays Casey Jones, Elia.
Oh yeah, he
was on Chicago PD, and he left the season before I started acting. I'm like, oh my god, he was the guy. Like, I wanted to run into this dude at some point, and like, you know that scene where him and Donatello are like throwing jabs at each other. Yeah. I almost wanted, like, if I ever was like somebody like
flips,
I'll throw something. Yeah, I'll throw something at him to see if he throws it back. Yeah. I missed my opportunity, but that's okay. So you're Sophia Bush?
Yeah,
that's your biggest.
It's got to be it. Yeah.
Yourself?
I don't know. I met Joe Sikora on Power. He's a cool dude. Sheesh. I'm not sure.
Nobody starstruck?
Nobody
starstruck?
Yeah. Well, yeah, young Zendaya. Yeah. Yeah.
John, who's your who'd you lift weights with that was I know who yours might be. I would say Tito Ortiz. You took a picture with Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, he's not that. I saw Brian Urlacher. I saw.
How did you feel when you met Brian?
So many.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
I saw Mia Hamm and Brian Urlacher within 5 minutes of each other. We were at a Cubs game. I don't know what I was doing at a Cubs game.
You're a Sox fan, right?
Upside.
Lames. Get off my set. Oh wait, this is John's house. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go Sox. Go Sox.
South side.
My biggest guy was J.K. Simmons. So I had a scene with J.K. Simmons, and that was intimidating as hell.
Was that on the Night Sky? Yeah,
I was a Night Sky with him. And when I found out about it, like, there's one thing about, acting with the Chicago PD guys. Yeah. They're famous, yes, but they're not famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And neither is J.K. Simmons, but J.K. Simmons has a reputation to him that he's really good.
Yeah.
He's not a Ben Affleck or, none of those, but like he's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's won an Oscar.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. Holy crap. When I went in for a fitting. So I booked Night Sky. Used to be called Lightyear before then.
Mm-hmm.
I book it. I go in for a fitting, right? And then you know how they have pictures of every main cast on the wall. Yep. And I'm looking through I'm like, oh, this who's he? Oh shit. Oh shit. I got lines with freaking J.K. Simmons. And I'm just like, what am I gonna? He's gonna know I'm fake. He's gonna know that he's gonna yell at somebody like, get this freaking guy out of here. Who hired this guy? You know what I'm saying? I'm just tripping out. I remember when I finally saw him, and I'm like my first thought was like, oh crap, that's J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man.
Right? Yeah.
Holy shit. What do I say? We talked a little bit. Cool dude, really cool dude. He gave me a little story about how he started. And he's like, you should just keep doing what you're doing, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like that's to me is like experiences that like I would never forget. Like those are the first one. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, what can we talk about again? I'm sorry, I blanked out. I'm sorry. This happens every so often. I blank out.
Every time he thinks about J.K. Simmons,
I blank out.
I mean, that happens. I mean, it is J.K. Simmons. You know,
that's true. That's true.
He played Commissioner Gordon. I mean, he's another one that can like transform.
Yeah.
The only thing he doesn't do, I don't think he doesn't do well as compared to like let's say Heath Ledger or whatever. He's not good at changing his voice. He looks a little different, but he sounds the same. Mm-hmm. He's good at what he does. Like this guy, like Heath Ledger, like that's I forgot that was Heath Ledger. You know, like, literally, like I remember watching this movie when it came out, and then he was at a Laker game, like maybe that same season.
Yeah.
And they showed him on screen, and I'm like, that's not the same person, dude.
Right.
Like they don't even look the same. Like nothing. I'm like, well, that's great acting.
Yeah.
That's great acting.
That's taking it. Yeah. I guess what would you think about method acting?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
You're a method actor?
I think there's different levels of it too.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to get into that, you know, or to put myself into a character where I have to, you know, like I just watched the Elvis biopic, and it was to me. I've
been wanting to watch that.
It was good. It was really good to see Austin Butler transform and to like read articles about how he did it, and you know, stayed in a room for 6 months and basically just was everything Elvis.
Turning into a hunk of burning love.
Yeah. And you're just like, but he ended up having to go to the hospital, like they said on the last day of filming, because he made himself so exhausted.
Really?
Just like, you know, and I was like, well, why did you do all of that? Mm-hmm. It's like, why did you have to go to that extreme? But yeah.
You know what's funny about method acting? Because I was watching a video about Jared Leto. Mm-hmm. He's method. So like to the extreme, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, method acting was not intended to be that way. So it was invented by Orlowski. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay, yeah.
He literally, there's videos of him saying this. He says, method acting is supposed to be off and on. You should be able to turn it off. That's the point, right? Because it's fake, right? But then I think the first person who did it like super extreme was like, who's in Raging Bull? Who's the main actor in Raging Bull? Robert De Niro. So like he was the first one where like he was like scaring co-stars of how serious he was. And then it was like a trickle down effect from there. Like and then everybody else started doing it and becoming this extreme thing. And you gotta like, you know, you do the whole Christian Bale thing and you get all stupid skinny and you don't eat or whatever. Yeah. Like the funny thing with Jared Leto, in the what was the movie he made recently? The Marvel one.
Morbius. Oh my God, yeah. Morbius.
So like supposedly he
really wanted to watch that too.
It's garbage.
It was horrible.
So he walks in the movie with crutches or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was making people wheel him around because he wanted to stay in a row. I'm like, dude, you can walk. Like, dude, you can walk. Stop this shit. Like, you can walk. You can get your ass up out this chair and go walk.
But you know what they said even when he did Joker, that he was playing pranks on people, like
mailing rats.
Mailing rats.
Yeah.
To his like co-stars. I was like,
that's a bit much.
Yeah, I was like, that's not cool. I was like,
I mean, I'm all about good performances, but really, are you that bad of an actor that you have to do that to stay in a character? Like you're not good enough to turn it off and on?
Yeah, that's
like you're compromising safety. You're compromising yourself at that point, and that's a fine line.
I mean, maybe not washing up.
A little closer to the mic.
Maybe not like washing up or something like that, and you know. Because what was my boy Benedict Cumberbatch? Yeah, he did a movie just recently. It was a Western cowboy type of thing on Netflix.
Was like a Western really?
Yeah,
I can't even picture him.
I forget the name. I think it's Mad Dog or something Dog, and
British accent.
And he killed it. But they said that like he didn't shower because his particular character was supposed to be this dirty cowboy, abusive husband style, and so he didn't shower. So you're having to inhale that stench.
Yeah, you're gonna get a reaction from me.
Yeah, you're gonna get a reaction from me. Yeah.
Didn't Leonardo do that in what's that movie that he's like in the woods? He's all bearded out.
Revenant.
Yeah. Something like that. He did that too,
Yeah.
supposedly. Like, he just wouldn't clean up whatever he was doing. And he actually, like, drank blood or some shit.
I think he
killed something.
sat in a carcass. Like, he literally.
He went all out.
He went all out.
But you know what? That was a really good movie.
And it got him an Oscar.
Do you guys enjoy movies still after being in the business?
I do, but it almost like takes more work to watch them.
Yeah,
for sure. But I try to like step back from it and like watch the thing as a whole instead of analyzing every little thing. But it's hard.
It's like the hardest thing to
do. You're studying now, a lot of studying, and then you're just sitting there and you're like, that was out of frame. Or especially like I watch stunts, you know, and I worked with the stunt team here in Chicago, so I've done like some of the fighting and choreography and stuff like that, and you know, you can see it where you're like, ooh, that wasn't clean. That camera angle, that was a bad punch.
You have
and
a
like
good
no
shot.
one else
You're
thinks
like,
about it.
Oh yeah,
that was a good shot.
He got punched. Yeah. That dude got really hit.
Dude, I cannot watch. I mean, I can watch movies, but they're so hard now.
Yeah.
Like I cannot get invested in it because I know it. I know more than anyone, or we know more than most people that it's fucking fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like look at this guy's making his face.
Turn that off.
You can't. Let me give you an example.
Hard.
My sister still watches Chicago PD. Every so often, I'll go on a Wednesday and she's watching the show, and she'll be like, "Oh my god, did you see what happened?" I'm like, "You know it's fake, right?" And she's like, "Well, but this," I'm like, "It's fake." And more than anything, I know it's fake because I know these people. You know what I'm saying? It takes everything away. We went to go watch the newer Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Right. We went to go watch it, and there is a shot of Tom Holland. Like the rain is hitting him. I want to say this is like right after May dies.
Yeah.
The rain is hitting him, and it's like a side profile picture. And I grabbed my sister, and I'm like, "Did you see that? That's a great shot." She's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "That's amazing right there. That cinematography is beautiful."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah. But you're 100%. Yeah, you're looking at it from a completely different like point of view now.
Yeah.
So like, like from especially when you're doing your short films and stuff like that, you're like, oh yeah, that was clean. That was a nice, good shot list.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good camera pan. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still get really invested in some though. Like I just like watching. I don't know if you guys watch Stranger Things, but this last season, I loved it.
It was
loved
good.
it, and it wasn't as hard to
Get invested.
to just like kind of watch the story instead of
See, to me right now,
nitpicking little things.
what does that for me now is books.
Okay.
Reading books does it for me because it's the opposite of what we do.
Right.
You know, now you really have to turn on the creative mind because you're creating everything versus a film. Everything's created for you.
Yeah.
You know, so I've learned to really enjoy reading now.
That's cool.
You know,
That's
help
cool.
me out. John, what about you? You like movies still?
Yeah, sure.
What was the last movie
You're
you
not
saw?
gonna ruin it for me. I was gonna watch the new Thor movie, but I guess that's not happening.
I heard Christian Bale does pretty good.
Oh yeah, Christian. But that's the thing; they didn't give him enough. Christian, he's another one. He can transform.
He's just crazy though.
And his villain, Gore, the God Butcher, kills it. But they didn't give him enough screen time.
Really?
Not at all. Not at all. It was good enough for when he was on screen.
Yeah.
And you were like, yo, he's murdered this.
But he's been a beast ever. Like, I mean, since what? The mechanic? What is
Mechanic?
Was it the mechanic? Is that the one he went anorexic?
Yeah,
anorexic. Was it the mechanic or
that was the mechanic?
That was the mechanic.
He ate an apple a day.
Yeah,
and that
he was
it.
like super fucking skinny.
Yeah,
he was like a walking skeleton.
Mechanic.
Something like that. Like the mechanic or some movie like that.
He was real skinny.
I thought that was the one where he was the boxer's brother.
No, that
was another one.
That's another one.
Yeah,
that's another one. He was pretty thin. But then he gets off.
He might be anorexic because he just likes getting fucking thin.
That can't be good for you, right?
But then he got jacked on Batman.
And what's that other movie he got pretty big?
Can't be good for you. No, eating one apple a day is great for you. Ask her. She's a nurse, right?
Didn't he get really big when he played?
He got.
Didn't he play Cheney? Who played Cheney?
He gained like.
Yeah, it was him. It was Christian Bale. Because I remember watching the trailer and I'm like, when they said it was, I'm like, holy crap, that was Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And he's like.
Yeah, he goes to the extreme when it comes to his body.
That has to take a toll.
Oh yeah,
like that can't be. That can't be right.
No,
like, at all. But he's super talented, man. That dude. Besides the fact that he went crazy on set.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Somebody got in his light.
Oh my God. You want me to turn down your lights? That was, you know what? I wish somebody would have had that on film. I would have loved to have watched that.
It was just a voice.
Just audio.
I just used, it was the audio. I just used my creative mind, and
you know
I'm just
what's
like.
fucked up? You know what's fucked up? I understand. I'm not agreeing with what he did, but I understand. Because acting is very difficult, Jonathan, when you have people laughing in the fucking background. Jonathan. Don't act like
not
you
at
don't,
all from experience, right?
You know who I was before you hired me.
Oh my No, man, I'm not excusing him, but I get it because it is, and I'm gonna try to say. He says it like it's bloody difficult.
Yeah.
When you're so focused on something.
Yeah.
And you see things, and it's distracting because we're trained, right? We're all eye contact.
Yeah.
We hang on to everybody's eyes, and if something's happening over there.
Yeah,
I'm out of it already. I'm out of it. I'm out of it already. You know, I'm already out if I gotta look at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't condone what he did. He's kind of a dick for doing it.
Yeah.
But I understand.
It's a tough, we got a tough job. I'm trying to memorize lines and, like you say, stay in character, and then try to like do other things to make it feel real in the sense of, the story we're trying to tell.
It's crazy because it's almost like one of the hardest things about it is just relaxing and like letting go of everything else and doing it.
When do you feel comfortable? Like for me, after the first take, I'm cool. First take is the hard one for me.
Yeah.
After they say cut, reset, I'm good. I'm good. I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. I almost reassured myself because I got through the lines the first time. I got this. We're good.
And they didn't say anything to you.
Yeah. Director didn't talk to you.
Director didn't come to you.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah. You know? So we're gonna play a little game. We're gonna try this out.
Right.
Just for once. This is gonna be the second time we're gonna do this. We're gonna play a little trivia game real quick just to change it up a little bit. So we ended on a funny note. So I'm gonna pass you guys a sheet of paper.
About to find out how much I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
But that's the funny part about it. So again, this is just for fun.
Are you in this too, John?
Yeah, John's in it. So,
yeah, he's our challenger.
So the goal. Okay, so here's the goal. Here's a couple pens. We can pass those around. I'm sorry, one more for John over there. So the goal of this game is to beat Jonathan.
Okay.
Because Jonathan's pretty good at trivia. He spent a lot of years. He spent a lot of years in front of the TV not watching Jeopardy. You want one too? Here we go. I like this.
Oh yeah.
There we go. We got another one. Can't get one sheet of paper. So he played a lot. He watched a lot of Jeopardies. He was really good at that time. That kind of shit. What do you mean it doesn't mean? You got a lot of practice in like guessing shit. Come on, let's be real here.
All right.
So we're gonna play it like this. I gotta get my phone real quick. So I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a timer. We'll do 15 seconds. Write down an answer. We'll do 5 questions, and then we'll just read out the answers. Fair enough?
Got it.
All right. Let me get a timer here real quick. Well, that's an hour. Let's not do that. Cancel it. And we'll do 15 seconds.
So much pressure.
I know.
John, entertain everybody while I do this, while I set this up.
So
you're doing a good job.
These guys are actors, right?
See, that's the sound effect we need for this show. Okay, I think I got 15 seconds on the clock here.
All right.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Sure.
Nope.
Okay. So the first question for today is going to be, what do H and O in H2O, the chemical formula for water, stand for? Everybody ready? You're good? Everybody good? Okay. Next question is going to be, how many continents are there in the world?
Shit. I should know
Why?
this.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Everybody good? Everybody good?
Nope.
Not at
He's
all.
like, nope.
Ask me acting things.
Right?
I think I found one.
Okay.
One of those. What did I put here? What is the name of the actor who played Mr. Bean?
Oh, shit.
I should have known that, right?
I should have known that. Oh, that's... Oh, man. Know his face. That's...
Everybody got it? We got an answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go to the next one. Which chess piece can be moved in an L shape? I feel like that one's easy. Everybody wrote that one real quick. What publishing company created superheroes like Iron Man and Captain America? That should be an easy one for everybody. Everybody has to get this one right. If you get it wrong, you got to go. We'll do, how many we got so far? Yeah.
5.
We'll do one more. What happens if you, What happens if you select text and press Control-C on your keyboard? What happens when you press Control-C over text on your keyboard? She works at a, she knows. She knows. You guys want one more?
Why not?
One more. Let's see. One more. What are the names of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's twins? Let me know when you guys are ready.
About as ready as I'll be.
Yeah.
Okay. First question was, what do H and O in H2O, the chemical formula for water, stand for? Answers in this direction.
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Hydrogen, oxygen.
Same. All right, everybody's good. Everybody gets one of those. And please do not cheat. I'm watching everybody.
Okay, I wrote it. Hydroxy.
Let's go with I'm just going to read them out of order because they're out of order. What are the names of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's twins? Did anybody get that?
I just wrote nope.
I said nope. Nope. I said Bradgelina. That's all I said. That's all I had.
That's a good one. John, you got one?
Chad Pitt. And
Angelo.
Jolie.
Nothing over there in the back? Ava and Anna. Nope. Their names are Knox and Vivian.
Okay.
I would have never guessed that. No.
What's the point of having twins if you're not going to name them kind of relatively the same name?
Well, they could be.
I don't care what they are. They're twins.
Could be boy, girl. They're both named Ashley.
Yeah.
Control-C on your keyboard. What does it do?
Copy. Right?
Copy.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got copy too?
Yeah.
John.
Sweet.
Woo. Yeah, I wrote cop.
Let me see.
I didn't write anything.
You didn't write anything? Jeez. So everyone's leading John because everybody didn't answer one question, so everybody's got a point except for John's missing one. What publishing company created superheroes like Iron Man and Captain America?
Marvel.
Please tell me you got it right. You would write DC or some shit.
I wrote DC.
You did it.
My man.
Wow.
Yes. I knew somebody.
I barely did it just to piss you off.
You deserve 2.
I know it's Marvel. Come on.
What chess piece can be moved in an L shape?
Knight.
Correct.
Yes.
Adam? I give you guys all that. See, I picked the easy one. I try to do something that would be kind of.
But this is the first time, right?
What is the name of the actor who plays Mr. Bean? Did anybody get this one?
I don't know.
I just put, I know his face.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I feel like when I hear it, I'm going to.
I can't even pronounce his name. I'll let somebody else pronounce it. Read it. It's this one right here. R1.
Rowan Atkinson.
That's his name.
Yeah. I wrote Zazu. Do I get half a point?
That works.
The bird from the Lion King?
He was the bird from the Lion King, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yes. You gotta be.
Now that you say that,
dude, I did not know it was him.
Now that you say that, his voice. Yeah,
I swear to you, I didn't know it was him.
I didn't know.
Did you know that?
Wow,
I didn't know.
Are you? He's got such a like.
It is a distinctive.
Wait. No, in most of his movies, he's like a miming stuff.
Yeah,
but. He's got a really distinct voice.
No, I get that, but I'm like, I really never.
Dude, are you serious?
No,
I didn't know that. Did not know that was Zazu.
Holy shit!
Wow,
I did not know that.
That's good. I mean, that deserves 2 points.
Good for him. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we're all tied right now. Let's see who gets this one. How many continents are there in the world? I don't know, so I'm going to look at the answer.
I said 7.
7.
I said 5.
Sorry,
it's
darling.
okay. It's
Sorry,
okay.
darling.
I There was a panic moment.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Here's a quick one that was on here. This is for shits and giggles.
Mm.
What? Oh wait, I got to cover the answer in the back. Watch out. What do you call the person? And I think actors should know this. What do you call the person who whispers script lines to the actor on a theater stage?
Oh, isn't that the script supervisor?
No.
Oh God.
It's probably what you. You know what? It is actually what newscasters use.
Reader?
No.
Oh, prompter.
Prompter, which it took me a minute to actually put it together because it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like I never thought it would be a fucking.
That actually does make sense. Prompter.
Sense. But thank you guys for playing.
Yeah.
That was fun. Something different. I feel like
who wins?
John loses.
Okay.
John loses just because I like to say that. But we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Telling your stories, all that good stuff, your struggles and all that, opening up to us.
Yeah.
Any social media where people can find you guys? Just in case.
Instagram, pretty much. That's what I use the most. I mean, you can find me on Facebook with Justin Mobley, but my Instagram is my name with the underscore at the end.
Right on.
Your whole name?
Whole name, yeah.
Madam, yourself?
Instagram as well, at It's Josie, Josii. I don't really use anything else. So,
really, just Instagram?
Yeah. I mean, I have Facebook and stuff, but I don't. I'm really bad at social media.
Me too.
It is, yeah. Because it's another job.
I'm always on it. I just don't post.
I'm always on it.
Yeah.
TikTok.
I know this mother flower.
You can find me on
TikTok somewhere.
No, Instagram.
Insta.
I'm on it, but I swear to you, I don't know anything.
Tell me
about it.
why
I just
my
have it
name
because
is
I have to have it.
Attack on Titan 1983. Such an odd thing.
Attack on
I mean,
Titan.
that's
Isn't that the whole? Isn't that the anime thing?
Yeah.
He's really into the whole anime thingy.
Have you been to Comic-Con?
We went to C2E2. Me and you.
That's the one in Chicago, right?
Yeah, that's the one I do in where do we go?
He went to see Power Rangers.
Yes.
There's no shame.
There is no shame. First of all, I went to go see Amy Jo Johnson, who's the first crush of my life.
There you go.
So stock, whatever you want to call it.
Pink Power Ranger?
Yeah. That was
Listen.
I have no shame in that because that was one of the bucket list things of my life.
There it goes.
I got to actually say 2 words to her. That was worth a lot of money that I paid to do that. But,
all right.
Oh, you know what pissed me off about that? So I took a picture with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to have the morphers.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big ass kid. So I go and I'm like, hey, she's like, yeah, come on. So I had the one from the movie, from Power Rangers the movie. That's hers, particularly, just hers. Right?
Okay.
So we take the picture prints out, and I look at it and I'm like, this freaking held the morpher upside down.
Really?
And I'm just so pissed off because I'm like, out of everyone on the planet. Hold on, wait a minute. That's my point. This was her job. Out of anyone in the planet who would know how to hold the morpher would be the person who did it.
She doesn't live it.
She's been out.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
Did you keep the picture? At least?
I have the picture.
She's 50 years old.
She's still
about a morpher?
You know what? For how old she is, she's still the
Pink
Pink Ranger in my head.
Yeah.
You know, she's always going to be the Pink Ranger in my head.
Yep, doing the backflip on the beam.
Yeah. Oh my God, the opening scene. Yeah, the opening scene. Yeah.
Yep.
We got Power Ranger fans around here.
Wow.
I like that. You guys ever want to come back? We can.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
You guys had a good time?
Definitely. Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Highly recommend.
Again, thank you guys for coming, taking some time out of your day to share with us. Jonathan, you got anything else, buddy?
I'm good.
Wow, that was quick. You really want to go home.
He's like, take us out.
Well, you're home already.
He doesn't want to talk about Power Rangers anymore.
No, God.
Again, thank you guys, and we're going to sign out.
All right.
That's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it, you can piss off.